Hi everyone. In the comment section of my last video, I had a really good discussion with Phil Terry. He made some great points, and I really appreciate him sharing his perspective. In those comments, we discussed alternative energy sources, including wind and solar. And I figured it was time for me to make a video with the environmental realist perspective on alternative energy sources. So first off, I think wind and solar are cool. I am a fan of alternative energy. I have solar powered lights around my yard. My parents and my brother have solar panel on their houses. And every time we go on a road trip, my 10-year-old son gets super excited and yells, "I see windmills," every time we approach them. And the environmentalist in me recognizes that there are problems with oil and natural gas, and I'm all for addressing those problems. At the same time, the realist in me recognizes that wind and solar need oil and natural gas now and probably for as long as we use them. And I recognize that there are other drawbacks to wind energy and solar energy. Now, my purpose is not to make wind and solar look bad, but to be realistic about the benefits and problems of all types of energy, including wind and solar. So the three main drawbacks to wind and solar are reliability, affordability and abundance, and reliance on oil and gas. They're somewhat related, and I'll go in reverse order and talk about the last two in this video, and then talk about reliability in the next video. So as far as reliance on oil and natural gas, every part of the process of converting sunlight and wind into energy requires oil and natural gas. You can't build a windmill with a windmill. It takes oil and natural gas to build windmills. It requires oil and natural gas to obtain, extract, and refine the raw materials needed for windmills. It takes oil and natural gas to manufacture, transport, and install the windmills. And it takes oil to lubricate the moving parts in windmills, and oil products for coating for the electric wires to transport electricity, and oil and gas products in the batteries to store energy from windmills. Similarly, solar energy also requires oil and natural gas to obtain, extract, and refine the raw materials for solar panels. Solar energy requires oil and natural gas to manufacture, transport, and install the solar panels, and requires oil and gas products as coating for the electric wires and in batteries used to store energy from solar panels. So wind and solar energy are dependent on oil and natural gas. Now, in order for an energy source to meaningfully replace oil and natural gas, it has to be affordable and abundant. And in order for an energy source to be affordable and abundant, every part of the process to produce it, including every input that goes into it, must also be affordable and abundant. And while wind and sunlight are free and abundant at times, the process of converting those resources into energy is not free and requires oil and natural gas. For years, wind and solar have depended on government subsidies just to come close to being as affordable as oil and natural gas. And in most countries, wind and solar still do depend on government subsidies to be affordable. Windmills also require non-abundant materials, actually called rare earth metals. And the mining and extracting of those is a filthy, planet-killing process. I'll share more on that in future videos. Windmills also require high-performance magnets, as well as concrete and steel to build tens of thousands of structures as tall as skyscrapers. Wind energy needs about 100 times the amount of steel per megawatt that natural gas does. Similarly, solar uses non-plentiful materials like highly purified silicon, titanium dioxide, cadmium telluride, etc., and uses oil and gas products in the solar panels themselves. For example, polyethylene is used as a substrate in thin film solar cells. So wind and solar have real benefits and real problems, and I'll talk about the reliability problem in my next video. Just like oil and gas have real problems and have immense benefits. And as a result, those of us who are fans of helping the planet and helping the people on the planet, and frankly, those of us who are fans of wind and solar, should be supporting oil and gas companies, because we need oil and natural gas to convert sunlight and wind into power for the people. Be sure to stay tuned for my next video. I appreciate you listening, and I'll talk to you again soon.